Hawmie Podcast. Welcome back to the Hawmie Podcast. Today we're sitting with Long Journey. How you doing, G? What's good, man?
Doing good, bro. How you doing, bro?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for coming on the podcast, G.
Man, thanks for having me, bro.
How you been though? How you been recently?
I've been going through a lot of shit, but I'm good, bro. I'm blessed. I have a great support system around me, like family, friends. So I'm like very grateful for that. You know? So whenever you're going through shit, if you got a good support system around you, it makes it always like just better. It makes you feel stronger. You know?
Yeah, it makes it a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like community, dog. Like if you don't have like a community that you can talk to, you can really get to. Like when something happens, like that's hard to get through. You feel me? Like you gotta bounce off your words with people and like talk, because it gets too deep when you just leave shit like and you can't talk to anyone. Like come on, that's not right. Like, but that's good. That's good to hear that you got family around you.
Absolutely,
that's like supporting you and
absolutely.
Shit. Where'd you grow up though, bro? Like what city?
I grew up in Bellflower. I grew up in Compton too. Like I spent a lot of summers out there at my grandma's house. I grew up a little bit in Long Beach, you could say, especially like throughout my 20s. I was always in Long Beach, like just running around with the homies and shit, just getting into shit.
Huh?
And then
it's like the sister city, like it's right here. You feel me? It's right down Woodruff, right down Bellflower. It's all right there.
And the funny part is,
down the Lamo everywhere. It's like
I didn't go to Long Beach like that until after high school. So it was like that's the crazy part. Like it's that close, but I would only be in the north part. I would never go like to the east or like the west side like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's tight, bro. Growing up over here. I mean, what did you like get into growing up? Did you play sports and shit?
Oh yeah, bro. I was a hooper for sure.
Oh, okay.
I played in all the parks, like Sims Park in Bellflower. They had like, you know,
the youth
baseball,
leagues.
the youth baseball league. They had the soccer. I was a goalie. I was a badass goalie.
Oh, that's tight.
I played football. And then, of course, basketball. Basketball was my favorite. So
basketball was your favorite? Mm-hmm. That's tight. That's tight. How did you play through like high school and shit?
Yeah. Shout out my boy Noises. Me and Noises played in our youth. Like my dad was the coach and his dad was the coach. And so
you guys played basketball together back then?
We played basketball together.
Shout out Flop. What's up, Dougie?
Yeah, it was good, bro.
Damn. That's tight.
Yeah.
That's
so
tight.
I grew up doing that. I skateboarded a little bit as a kid.
Skateboarded too. That's right. Damn, bro. Like I'm telling you, I'm like I would say majority of my guests skateboard, dog. Like each one that has come through like is a skateboarding past. Like a little history of skateboarding. That's crazy that you say that. That's tight, dog. That's tight. What was so you said basketball was the one though?
Yeah, basketball was the one for sure. I should have pursued baseball, but I loved basketball. It was fast. It was back and forth. It was constant action. You know, it was just like that thing that you had to be ready for. Like you had to always be on point in basketball. You couldn't slip up because you would make a mistake and you're gonna pay for it. So
for sure.
That's why I like that one. For sure.
Yeah, I never got it because I played sports too.
Mm-hmm.
I played baseball, football, like majority of my life, like for like 10 years. You feel me? So like. I never got into basketball though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I had a hoop outside of my house for like a small period of my life, but like it wasn't like anything major. It's something with like Latinos, fool. Like our fucking people, like we're just too short for basketball or something. Like, but if we were like really into it, like we would. You know what I'm saying? Like, go after it, like, more. But, I mean, there's still Latinos for that, like, play basketball, but majority of us are short.
a dude a year ahead of me in high school, Cesar Guerrero, shout out to Cesar Guerrero. He was bad, bro. He was one of the best basketball players in the country and in the state.
Oh, okay.
Straight Mexican.
Yeah.
Like, Cesar Guerrero, he was dope, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it was a lot. Like I knew a few Mexican basketball players that really could hoop, and he was definitely one of them. Like,
hey, shout out to all the like Mexican, all the Latino hoopers, like, cause
all of them.
Although like there hasn't been like many like super like NBA stars or whatever, there's still hoopers. Like my family, I have a really close family friend who played professional basketball overseas. So and he was really into it, and so is the family. Like his sons hoop too, and his sons are getting after it right now. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the whole family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Edgar and freaking Seabass, all y'all. I know you guys are out there killing it. And Noah's the youngest one. He's the one that's like in high school. He's playing at Shirt right now. Oh, nice. He's a baller, bro. He's like big. He's like big dog. You feel me? Like big Latino fool. Like, cause you know how like majority of us, like I said, are short. This was tall though, so like you know when you get the aspect of the height, you gotta take advantage of that because the league is all like big dogs in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like like there's the small people who get through, but it's like few and far between, right?
It is few far in between for sure.
What so when did you stop playing basketball?
Probably I was like 19, 20.
Like high school and the high school.
In the high school, I was thinking about doing it in college, and then I just never signed up, never went to tryouts or anything. I could have walked on, but I just didn't feel it. Bro.
Yeah, you weren't feeling it in your heart. And when it's not in there, dog, there's no point in going there. That's how it was for me with football too. I was at senior year, and I was like, this is it. This is my last year. You feel me? Like you know when it's
exactly
when you have it in you or you don't.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was at that point. Like I was just getting into music at that time.
That's when you started getting into music too?
Well, I was in high school. I always did music, right? As a kid, I'd mess around here and there, but like high school is when I wrote my first 16 like solid bars.
Oh, okay.
It was like I was listening to How Fly. Shout out to Wiz and Currency. I was listening to How Fly, and then I was listening to like a lot of just like this was like 2009, so the second golden era of hip hop, right? Big Sean, Sci-Hi, Chip the Ripper. I was listening to all these guys, you know.
Freaking Big Sean, that fool has had a run, dog. He's still on his run. He hasn't stopped, dog.
Wiz Khalifa, that's when he was just starting up. Currency was back on the come up. He was putting out mixtape after mixtape.
So you were listening to a lot of that at the time?
Yes, Dom Kennedy, Casey Veggies.
Oh yeah, Dom,
yep. Shoot, what was my Kosher Chris, man? Shout out to Kosher Chris. Put
me on right now. I don't even know who that is. I gotta check him out.
Bro, look, they had a whole little thing. Casey Veggies, Anwar Karras, Kosher Chris, and there was another dude over there that was rapping with them, bro, but my boy Lavish used to rap with them. Ashton Matthews used to rap with them, bro. Like, Vince was rapping with the homie Lavish, like, at Mayfair. So this was a crazy time.
That's
like 2009 to like 2013 was a crazy time for music, especially like in Bellflower and shit. So
talk about it, bro. How was it? Because I mean, you were end of high school at that point.
High school,
so
middle
going
school,
into your adult years and shit. So did you start popping up at those shows, or what were you doing? Were you just listening to music, writing, and started making?
I wasn't even rapping yet. I was just watching the whole thing unfold. Where I'm watching like the homies come up. And then, like, that's when the first time I hear about Casey Veggies, but he's not Casey Veggies yet.
Well,
like,
what's his name?
No, he's just Casey Veggies, but he's not Casey Veggies.
I feel that.
You get me? He didn't blow up yet.
Yeah.
So it's like the homie Lavish is like, yeah, I'm about to do this album, I'm about to drop these projects with the homies. I'm like, cool. And I'm just listening to it. I'm like, yo, not even realizing Vince from Mayfair. I'm like, Vince Staples. I'm like, he sounds familiar.
You used to see that fool at the park or what?
Yeah, I used to see him at school all the time.
Oh, you guys went to the same school?
Yeah, so
there you go.
Just
you guys went to Mayfair together.
Yeah. Me and Vince. Vince only went there for like a year or so though.
Oh, okay.
I only went to Mayfair for a semester too. But
shit, that's funny. The small period that you guys were there.
Yeah, because I went to Mayfair High for a semester, but I went to Mayfair Middle School for my entire middle school years. And it's weird.
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Mayfair is 7th through 8th grade. It's not 6th through 8th. It was 7th through 8th. And then ninth grade, I went to Dominguez in Compton because I was playing basketball, and I was going to go play with a coach out there. And he got into like a crazy ass scandal.
Oh no.
Yeah, crazy scandal. We're not gonna get into it.
Let's not talk about it.
Let's not talk about it. I really don't want to talk about it. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all.
They probably already know. The people already
people
know.
that hear this, and they know.
They know what you're talking about. You can tell me later.
Yeah, for sure. We'll talk about it off camera. But yeah, that I went to Dominguez, and then that scandal happened. I transferred to Mayfair because my dad didn't know where he wanted me to go play, and I didn't know where I wanted to go play.
Oh, yeah.
So I ended up playing at Mayfair because of the damn coach, and then I hated it. So I transferred to GAR second semester, 10th grade, and that's when I like really started seeing what's up with music because there was this Shark Clan. There was a bunch of them, like Adonis Rose, and then my boy Arson was at GAR. Shout out to Arson.
Nah, you met him there?
Yeah, that's where I met him.
Yeah, shout out Arson. What's up, dog? God damn.
My boy was definitely at GAR, rapping, freestyling, going crazy. My boy Tycoon. Arson and Tycoon used to really, like, they used to kill shit, bro. That's it was tight. Really dope. I remember that shit.
That's tight. Shout out Arson. What's up?
Shout out to Arson for real, and my boy Ty.
That's tight. I didn't know he went to GAR.
Yeah, we had the same math class together and everything, bro.
Oh
that shit was crazy.
That's tight. That's tight. So that's when you started getting into making music, like as far as like just writing it or
just
like
writing it because when I went to GAR, I didn't know anybody. So a lot of times I was just by myself listening to all this music, right? Like the second coming of the golden era, rap. Listening to all these rappers rap this shit, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna rap, you know? Like, I'm gonna just write. I was supposed to go see a girl, and she was like meeting me at, somewhere like down the street from my house, and I'm just in my sidekick at the time just writing some shit.
Them sidekicks.
And she's like, what are you doing? Are you rapping? Right? Like, are you rapping now? I'm like, yeah, I guess I am. You feel me? And then my cousin TJ, shout out my cousin Tyrone, he was Adventure King. I said Tyrone. I'm over putting this government out there. He cool. But Adventure King. Adventuring King. Damn, I'm fucking his name up. He gonna be mad as hell. My bad, bro.
Hey, don't call him, homie. Yeah, don't call him.
Adventuring King. That's who you are. All right, you know what I'm saying? But no. He was rapping. He was fucking around, right, at this time. And I told him, hey, I want to record this song. So he come over and he bring his equipment and shit. And he's like real nonchalant because, you know, I never really told anybody I was going to rap or anything. So he's just like, yeah, all right, go ahead and, you know, say what you about. Like, go ahead, let me see what you're going to do. And then I just go in and he was just like, damn. He was like, I was like, what? That shit was trash? He was like, hell no. He was like, I didn't know you could rap like that.
Hey, yeah.
And I was like, shit, you fuck with that? He was like, yeah.
That's tight.
So after that, I just was writing music for a minute.
Was that like the first time you recorded?
Yeah. That was the first time.
Yeah, that's tight.
I was recording to
yeah, what were you recording?
I was recording to Otis by Kanye.
Kanye,
Yep.
Hey, that's
Watch the Throne.
That beat is crazy.
That beat was so crazy, bro. Like
damn, that's so tight. Like, you probably felt like, yeah, I'm finna do this now. You know what I'm saying? Like, after that, because,
yeah, for
like,
sure.
doing it for the first time and nailing it, like, come on. Like,
yeah.
You probably caught that energy, like, that bug. Like,
yeah.
I want to do more of this.
I did. And it was like, that's kind of what got me into it. And I was just studying, like, the music scene. And I was just, like, trying to get into, like, old school shit. Like, I didn't know shit about rap like that. Like, I liked what I liked at that point. I would listen to a lot of Lil Wayne. Wayne was one of my favorite rappers all time. Ice Cube always been one of my favorite rappers. Like, this is before the Currency age. Currency's my favorite rapper ever, but before I really got deep into his music, it was Wayne. It was freaking, it was Fabulous. It was Game. It was 50 Cent. 50 Cent was one of my favorites. I used to love that old Kanye West, you know. And
hell yeah.
Man, just the West Coast. My dad would play Ice Cube, West Side Connection. He would play, you know, like Tupac.
Those are pillars right there.
Yeah, bro.
Those are West Coast
DJ
pillars.
Quick, like, one of the best artists on the West Coast ever. That's a straight legend, bro. Like musician.
Yeah,
he does it all, and I think a lot of people don't give DJ Quick the credit that he deserves, because it's like.
Because that fool's a full musician. Like
full musician.
Like people can't put no like box on him. So
you cannot put him in no box. He's so like creative, and he's that dude when it comes to this music shit. He's like, whatever you want to do. You want to get on the instruments. You want to get on the boards. You want to get in the booth. What do you want to do?
Hell yeah.
He's like, I can do it all. And so it's like, you know, I respected those dudes, and it's like I grew up with people that know DJ Quick, because like where I grew up in Compton. It's like on the outskirts of this hood called Fruittown, Piru, and then right next to it is Treetop, and that's where DJ Quick and like my cousins. I got cousins from both sides, so it's like they got they got bullshit beef, whatever now. But like back then, like when my uncles and them were coming up, they used to call them like fruit tree babies, because their gangs were named after the street names of the street. So Fruittown had like Plum, Cherry, you know, Mulberry, Tamarind, like just fruit names. And that's where they got the community name for it, like the gang name for it. And then for Treetop, it was like Spruce. There was just a lot of tree names over there. And I know for a fact that my cousin grew up with DJ Quick's like little cousin, or his little brother. So it's
crazy.
Not his little brother, his nephew. So it's like my cousin,
world,
it's that small over there, but it's like it's always been love. And so it's like when you listen to DJ Quick and them, like that hits different for me, because my family has ties to those type of people, you know.
And yeah, for sure.
My cousin Donzelli, his dad used to be getting shot out by DJ Quick. So it's like, you feel me? And Donzelli is a dope ass rapper. Shout out to my boy Zelly. He used to rap back then too, you know. He rapped with Vince, with Ashton Matthews, like ASAP Yams used to fuck with his music, retweeted his shit back in the day. Like Donzelli really been out here too.
That's
and
tight.
So it's like he had a lot of shit popping, so I was definitely around watching him too. I was being a fly on the wall with that, because he a year younger than me, but he was just having shit going, you know.
He was just moving shit.
Yeah, and he had the right connections too, so it was like, you know, he had the right people around him, and that's what made it dope. You feel me? Because it was like I could see, I was just watching shit happen at first hand. I just happened to be there.
That's
you know?
so tight. Yeah. Like, flying the ball.
I was watching Seafood Sam, shout out Seafood Sam, and my boy Noises when they was the Breakfast Club, you know? And that was like a dope ass duo. Him and Noises were like making dummy like noise around like the school and just like the city. And everybody was getting behind them at that time. And I think there was like there was a wave of music that started before this stuff I'm talking about, and it was really like, it was like some high school like clique shit. So you like at Bellflower High, you had like Sab and Mac, and then Sab was like SAB, it was like Sexy Ass Ballers, and then yeah, it was just some extra shit though, right?
Yeah.
But that was like that was MySpace. I'm going back to MySpace for a second, y'all. Like that was the MySpace age, bro. So like Bellflower always had like talent when it came to music. It was just like people was just fucking around. Like nobody was really like, yeah, let me take this shit really serious. But like when we did it for fun, it was dope, and like everybody around the city was playing that shit. Like that Sab shit I'm telling you about, R.I.P. to Cannonball. I just heard he passed, man. That's crazy. He used to rap, right? Everybody used to fucking listen to his shit, bro, like from the city. That's just because it was just like nobody's out here doing nothing really. It was just we skated, we chilled, you know, people smoke, they do whatever else they do, but that was it. And then the music was just like, yo, that's dope. Like we got somebody from the city doing that shit. Like, it's cool. Like, and now everybody that you know in the city is like playing this shit. Got this shit on their MySpace. And
that time, huh? With like MySpace, it was a whole
different
era, huh?
Era, bro.
Cause like, I mean, damn, we didn't even have phones at that time like that. I mean, we did, but we didn't, cause like they weren't smartphones. You know what I'm saying? But like, I mean, at that time, I guess I didn't have a phone because I was a little bit younger, you know what I'm saying? I was probably like in middle school when he was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I probably didn't have a phone during that time, but I remember going on the computer for the MySpace for sure.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like the whole top friends list and everything. That must have been like a whole scene though with like, cause you used to be able to put your music, right?
You used to be able to put music on there for sure.
Was it like when it was in its prime? Was that when you were able to put your own, or was it like just anyone? Because I remember it was like anyone.
Yeah, you could put your own too.
Okay,
like,
but
MySpace really was like, let me teach you about coding type shit. Because anything you wanted to do for your page, you had to copy and paste the code.
For sure, I remember that.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
It was
like
tight,
that was,
bro. You had to like go on different websites, and then you had to drop in, like you said, the codes from a different website into MySpace settings.
Exactly.
Do some
whole little fucking
coding
thing to get it to go like exactly how you want it. And I think
we were definitely coding our own pages back then.
We were coding our own shit back then.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Damn.
It was definitely
how far we've come, bro. That's crazy.
And now coding is like the thing now.
That's
coding
true.
is the thing now. You know, we was doing that as kids. Like, they were already programming us to get ready for this shit.
That's true. Know? Yeah, there's whole like
they're always like they're always 10 years ahead of us. Like, they're always 10 steps ahead
with all the tech and everything.
Yeah, with everything.
With all the steps.
All this crazy shit. They probably got something right now that is small, this fucking small, that can fly through here. They can listen and hear everything clear. It's just like.
I know it's called our phones, right?
Right. You're right. You know? No, definitely.
For sure.
You know they listen on the phone. That's why it's kind of funny that it's some people out there that, like, why would they be watching us and doing all this stuff? And I'm like, there's plenty of reasons to.
It's in their own interest.
Yeah.
To keep us down, to keep us dumb. You know what I'm saying?
And to keep you paying. Like, a lot of the time, it ain't even really the government that's listening. It's these companies that be hiring PRs and shit that be like, yo, we need them to keep going and buying and buying and buying.
Yeah, like consumer shit.
Putting these ads in their face every day. They need that shit, you know?
It's money,
Yeah, because it's like, that's what drives this country is capitalism.
For sure.
So if they don't have people going out and buying and doing things, it's going to shut down like crazy. That's why, the pandemic was what it was, and the plandemic was what it was, because they were just trying to figure out, like, what kind of new system can we incorporate that we don't have to rely on capitalism. And now we're getting into socialism, which could turn into communism and turn into some whole other dictator shit that I don't think people are ready for.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, because, like, it's, like, about control here, and it runs deep, because, like...
Because they throw rocks of how it started.
Yeah, because of how this place started. Like, it's, like, within the history, and then it's happening now, today. You know, it's, like, kind of... It really is, like, a mind fuck when you tag into it, you feel me? And it's, like... It's hard to detach from it. It's hard to be like, man, how can I just find my peace away from this bullshit? Because it's like, we're living in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's probably been the hardest part for me. It's like, how the fuck do I just find my own peace within all this bullshit?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really, it sounds easier than it
actually
when actually doing it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
But it's definitely a mindset thing. But it's like, when you know the history behind this place that we live in, like, mindset alone, like, it'll only get you so far. You feel me? Like, 'cause goddamn near you feel like insane, like, You know what I'm saying? Like, when you learn about the history, when you see it happening in real time in front of you, like, yeah, it's wild, fool. It's wild. Like,
yeah, I get it.
What kind of music did you listen to growing up though? Besides, like, before you got into like the hip hop and all that shit, or were you always listening to hip hop?
No, like I was telling you, I only listened to like those main kind of artists that were mainstream type shit. But for me, I would say I listen to a lot of old school like soul music, like Motown stuff, like a lot of Marvin Gaye. I listen to a lot of Smokey Robinson. Shit, I would listen to a lot of like Michael Jackson. I listen to a lot of Prince. I listen to a lot of jazz. Like Michael Franks is one of my favorite jazz artists. So is my guy Miles Davis, John Coltrane.
That's tight. You're listening to some great music thing growing up.
My dad has impeccable music taste.
That's so tight. Cause then like it like spills into when you're creating, cause it's like it's in your memory banks, right? Like all that music that you listen to growing up, like you can recite the words to certain songs like in a blink of a second when the song comes on, or even without even the song coming on,
like a jukebox.
Like
because that's what we did. That was like a way of me and my dad bonding, was to do things while listening to music. You know, like that's what made doing things better. Like we cleaning and stuff, he's putting on music. For getting ready for school and shit, he's putting on music. You know, and it's just like that's what also drove me. Like it drew me so much to the music. It was just like the feeling that I would get, like the memories that came with it, the happiness that came with it, you know? And so I know for sure that's a passion of mine, because even when I have down, low moments when I'm doing music, I feel great, you know? Like, because it's authentic. And I think that's why I appreciate the music so much from back then, because it was super authentic. You know, it was like raw and it was clever, you know? I really listened to I listen to jazz musicians just like Najee too. Like he plays the saxophone. Like he was great. I like to listen to like people like Frank Sinatra.
Hell yeah.
I like Frank Sinatra a lot.
That's tight.
Summer Wind was one of my favorite songs by him.
That's great. Like all of those artists are all like legends in their own right. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, and it's always the best, like when you have parents that are just putting you on to like great music. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never really heard like people be like, oh, my parents have like terrible taste in music though. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like music is like such a universal language.
It's hard for our parents to have horrible taste in music, because music was so much better back then for them. Like,
I feel that.
Yeah, it's like us being parents, I can understand like the future generations being like, our parents' taste in music sucks, you know, because it's a lot of uppity, fast-paced shit, like and it's like back then they had more time to take with their music. They really took time to be creative and to be intentional with the songs and stuff. For sure. And so that's why those songs hit so much different than they do now, you know? For sure. Everything's the fucking same now. So it's like there's no originality, there's no uniqueness to a lot of the music that's being put out. It's just gimmick shit, and it's just fast, quick shit, you know? No, for sure. That is a sign to go on a quick break, and we'll be right back. Podcast. So yeah, like you were saying with on the music tip, it's like it's a little trippy with like how back in the day it was a lot different substance and a lot deeper, and like nowadays it's like, man, like what are they even saying on these songs, right? So I it's wild to me too, because at the same time too, back in the day, like people, it was more normal, I would say, for like people to have like a whole writing team, right? And like straight to where it was like
the people performing were the people performing. They weren't writing music.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so now, like, a lot of people are writing their own music. You know what I'm saying? So there's that element too. So it's crazy. Because, like, I've seen videos and stuff of, like, old, like, writing rooms, bro, for, like, just songs alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and it's, like, multiple people. Mm-hmm. Like, 5, 6 people, heads on working on one song. Like, that's, you know, that's next level collaboration.
That's
you know
next level intention, too. And I think this is the thing, too, like, we only got so big on writing because of hip-hop. That's what people forget. It's really about hip-hop. Who cares if a singer wrote something? They sing. Somebody can have an impeccable handwriting game where they can just write any type of song, but they can't sing it.
Yeah.
And they need somebody to sing it. It's a perfect combination. That's why you have Motown, Smokey Robinson writing things for people, you know. A lot of the Barges, they wrote a lot of shit for people, you know. Marvin Gaye wrote things.
Yeah.
And he wrote his own things too, and it's like cool, like, you know. But I think people, like, when you're talking about like singing and shit, I get that it's not really too big of a deal to me. But yeah, when you're talking about rapping, that's supposed to be your life. It's supposed to be, you know, like hip hop is supposed to be you telling a story about your life, where you come from, not you like just telling a bunch of fairy tale bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what's happening now. Just like the substance is very low. It's not even like, it's not even intentional anymore. They just do it just to do it because it sounds good, because it looks good,
because of the vibe and all that. No, for sure.
And the negative attention that they get, because I don't say it's good attention unless the message and intention behind it is good. If it's negativity and people are feeding into it and they're loving it, it's just negative attention.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this is nothing that is going to help benefit somebody. This is just negative
to
bullshit.
Consume, yeah.
Yeah. It's just bullshit. You just feeding them bullshit, like typical shit. You're not showing them different things. Like, it's simple. And I feel like a lot of artists now are getting into that because they're trying to be relevant to what is around them, instead of being true to who they are. And I think that's what's missing in the rap world, and even now in like other parts of different genres of music. But especially in hip hop and rap, like originality, uniqueness is like at an all-time low right now. It's pretty fucking sad, you know? And I wish people would understand like the power in you just being who you are
and telling your own story.
Yeah,
no, I feel that, bro. I think like there's a lot of space, you know what I'm saying, for people to blow up in that sense, because like original artists that like aren't, you know, in the mainstream, like in the main, you know, attention, because like you said, like people aren't being themselves or whatever, and they're just acting toward a certain, you know,
or they're playing a role.
Yeah.
Like a character. Oh, this is my character. I gotta get into character.
Yeah. Not for sure. It's wild to me too, because at the same time, it's kind of like people who are consuming hip hop, that's what they're accepting. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're putting their money behind these artists. So it's like, it's weird because they have like a huge following of people who are like, yeah, this is it. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time too, I also think like some people don't realize. You know what I mean? Like, some people weren't raised with that intent and with that level of hip hop knowledge. Like, and so I think like it's trippy, because like I respect it though too. Like, when people are coming out of nothing and they're just making music like as a feeling, and like they're not trying to like, you know, put like real stories or whatever, and they still make it, and they like make something out of nothing. Like, come on, it's respectable. Like, it's a new form of hip hop, you know. It's just like that. they have more that they can do for sure.
Exactly.
And
what I'm saying is, I'm not sitting here like shitting on the new artists. What I'm saying is a lot of what they do is gimmicky shit.
Yeah.
A lot of them are not sticking to original shit that just keep things that will separate them from the rest, which is just telling their story exactly how they want to tell it, not how people may want to hear it. Tell it how you want to tell it, so you get that message and that point across. And like, don't get me wrong, there's some young dudes out there doing their thing, you know, and it's like,
yeah, there's some people out there still.
Yeah, it's people out there. I just want people to understand the power behind the originality. If you just, I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to do this because I'm in a place of like, I want to be myself without people like having to expect something else from me when they see me. I want people to be like, what you see is what you get. And I think that's what a lot of artists struggle with too, is that they're putting on these fucking different facades and, like I said, just playing different roles. And so when people do meet him or see him, it's different. It's a different experience because they're like, damn, this is not how I envisioned you to be, but we're here now.
Yeah.
You know?
It's trippy. It's so trippy. Because, like, even, like the whole, like, mainstream, you know what I mean? Like, the whole mainstream, like, radio that, like, they play music that is from the big dogs specifically only, and then, boom, the, like, you know, quote-unquote industry plants that are, like, they're signed up, and the labels are paying the bag to the radio.
Drake,
you know what
plays on the radio every day.
Yeah.
That
fool has the radio in a chokehold, for sure.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and like, bro, like Drake is a whole thing. I've talked about this before on my pod. Like his music is great. Like he's like almost damn. I almost damn near consider him a singer, bro. Because like what we're talking about, like he doesn't write his lyrics, right? And so it's kind of like
he writes some of it, but a lot of it he doesn't really write anymore.
Okay,
but
see, that's still respectable that he does some, but like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be considered the greatest, like, hip-hop, like, MC if that's what's the deal. To me, you're just, like, you're one of the greatest artists. You feel me? Like, because that's still respectable. Your music's still great. I'm still going to dance to your music when it gets played on. I'm like, but I'm just being, like, from a lover of hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? From a lover of...
I know exactly what you're saying because I love Drake. I love rap Drake a lot, bro. Like, Comeback Season... Thank Me Later, like when he was rapping on Take Care, when he was rapping on Nothing Was the Same. He knows what he's saying. Like Nothing Was the Same after that. Yeah. After that album, everything changed for him. Like the sound, everything. Yeah. So Nothing Was the Same. Like that was like the last. In my opinion,
like hip hop shit.
Hip hop Drake, you was gonna get like that was the last part. He put Wu-Tang Forever on that. Like, you know, he was kind of giving people hints of like,
I'm done with this hip hop shit.
I'm about to go into this other bag and like really show y'all my range.
That's respectable though. Like honestly, like who can do that? You know what I'm saying? Like not many artists you could say besides like Snoop Dogg have done that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
I think for Drake, he did rap a lot for his, like, in his past. And so that's why he feels like, oh, none of y'all can out-rap me because I could go play, you know, Comeback Season and y'all still can't touch a lot of those bars. Yeah. Which is true. It's true. He was in his bag then, but I still wouldn't put him as a top 10 MC or lyricist.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
There's just, when it comes to rap, this is why I'm saying, like, a lot of people just don't understand, like, the lyricism is crazy in rap when it comes to, like, the 90s, because a lot of them, that was raw, pure energy. Like,
yeah, for sure.
A lot of that music was being created like this.
Yeah.
Like, artists now, they take a whole year to do an album. These dudes was taking days, if that, to finish an album, you know? Like, Tupac came home and did, like, All Eyes on Me in 2 days. Or some crazy shit like that I've heard. You know, so I'm like...
Yeah.
People don't understand the ambition and the push that some people have and had on their shoulders, like during those times. You know, a lot was at stake for Nas when he was doing Illmatic. You know, like that was gonna be to make it or break it, and then look what it made him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta think about Ice Cube leaving NWA and like saying I'm gonna do my own America Most Wanted shit. Like that's risky.
For sure.
Dre and Snoop, like everybody know the story now. Like they took a risk. They went to New York to get their shit, like trying to get their shit off the ground with different people. So it's like artists these days it's easy because they did all the ground, they did all the legwork for them. So that's why I don't get how they disrespect the OGs, because it's like y'all really don't understand how this shit work. Y'all just see y'allself getting money right now, but if it wasn't for them, y'all would not be having any of this shit. Like they made sure. Why do y'all think y'all read contracts and y'all be pushing the independent thing? It's because of the artists before you. They were trying to put y'all on. Like, I've watched the Drink Champs when Nas was saying he wanted to do a song with Prince, and Prince was like, well, do you have your masters? And Nas was like, no. And Prince was like, holla at me when you get your masters.
Sheesh. Damn. Yeah. That's huge. Yeah,
because it's like huge. Prince understood the game, which is why his demise happened the way it happened. Because you can't like when you outsmart them, they don't like that shit. You know, these industry like labels and all this, the people behind this shit. Let's just say they know they profit more off of your death than you being alive, and they know you will profit more off being alive than you being dead. Yeah, so it's like,
say that again.
Yeah, it's like people
you don't even
like
need to, but for sure.
But like people need to really understand
that.
Because the longer you stay alive, the more residuals you can make, the more money you can make, the more music you can make, and if you got your masters on top of that, if you're a Prince, imagine if Nas had all his Illmatic royalties right now. Illmatic has been out for 30-something years, almost 30 years. And he's still, that shit still has millions of streams every year. That is crazy influence. That's crazy legacy. Like Good Kid, Mad City is still on the charts. Crazy legacy. You know, like you can't. It's just certain albums that are just like, you know, those are like, that's a golden, that's a platinum, but truly like. It's a classic. Like classic albums are just albums you hear and you can't get rid of because it's just like it's so good. It touched your soul. It's so authentic. Like 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. He was so fucking in his bag. He was out there talking shit about job, about whoever. He just got shot. He didn't bounce back. He came up. He got a deal. He got money. He was just on. You know, like you can feel all that energy in that. And that's what made that album so dope. And I feel like when Game came out like, oh, y'all thought the West Coast was dead, like, and then he came out with West Side Story and all that shit. It was just perfect. And you had How We Do, like, that's why Game was so important to me.
He had the West on the headlock.
He had the West on the headlock. Like, nobody was coming, like, Game was, like, bringing that shit. Like, nobody had nothing else for that. Like they could not come back and try to like respond to Game at that time on the West Coast. They just had to bounce back. Like they had to fall back, give that respect and allow him to do this thing because he just came with a different type of energy, you know. And he had just been through the same shit, just got shot and all that other shit, you know, like beating cases. And then he's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go hard. And I feel like that's what really changed the dynamics of like rap. It's just like when your back is against the wall in your life, that's when you create, that's when you see who you really are. And so I feel like a lot of people, sometimes you just gotta have your back against that wall so you can really see what you made of. Because it's either gonna make you or break you. And I feel like a lot of people be ready to break before they're ready to stand tall and hold it down.
Hell yeah.
And that's the unfortunate part of life because
it's like, bruh, it's like you gonna get broken regardless, so you gotta get your ass back up. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the part that we forget, like, this shit ain't supposed to be easy. You know what I'm saying? People like what you're talking about, the generations before us in hip-hop. It's the same thing with generations before us in life and everything, too. Like, our families and, like, who we come from, like, our lineage. Like, each generation had to put so much more work in for us to be here. You know what I'm saying? Because, each year, prices go up in living and prices for food double, like, you know what I'm saying? Especially as of lately. But it's just, like, when you realize the history of, like, your people, history of hip-hop, how much work people had to put in before you, it makes you be like, okay, like, I need to work harder. I need to also be patient and relax. Because, like, you can do all the work in the world, but if you're not detaching from it and letting it grow, then you're just going to ruin what you planted. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, like, that's kind of like... Because, like, you can ruin it, maybe not to the outside world, but you can ruin it in yourself. You can ruin how you're viewing the things that you created. And then what does that do? That gets in your head. That makes you cloudy. It makes you, like, not want to do the things that you love. You know? Like,
because of attachment, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, because it's hard to detach, bro. It is. It's like the hardest, especially now that we have our phones and we're just looking at all of our metrics and we're just looking at our likes and our views and all that crap that really don't mean nothing. It really don't mean nothing at the end of the day. Like, that's low-key why I started this podcast, because I was like, man, like, I'm tired of just creating and just seeing numbers. Like, I want to fucking create and, like, feel something from creating, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as, like, videos and, like, all that, because podcasts are substance, it's stories, it's, like, people's origins and, like, what the hell they're doing now. Like, to me, that's so meaningful, you know what I'm saying? And, like, that's low-key, like, part of the reason why I got into it, because I was already fucking with podcasts. I was, like, already, like, listening to them and, like, really tapping in. I was like, yeah, I need to start my own. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Because, like, we got it in us, bro, to do, like, multiple things. Like, when you look at our families and everything, people didn't just do one thing their whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like, our families go through, like, different phases. They can work in, like, in so many, we've worked in so many different, spaces. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's wild. It's wild. Give me your top 3 artists for hip-hop MCs.
Top 3?
Top 3.
Well, I already talked about Currency is one of my favorites all time. Nas is definitely one of my all-time favorites. And what else I want to throw in there? Hip-hop.
Nas and Currency.
Yeah, Nas, Currency.
Those are great choices.
Yeah,
for sure.
And you could put Ice Cube. Ice Cube is definitely, that's my third. Like, Ice Cube is definitely one of my biggest influences.
He's a legend.
He's definitely a legend. He's a smart man.
Substance.
He's a family man. Substance.
Sheesh.
No tolerance for bullshit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, only rapper that had a whole had a whole plan for the presidents, you know? Like, for both of them. And I feel like that's something that people just don't pay too much. Yeah, some people don't pay attention to. But, yeah, my boy now.
Shout out Dan, falling asleep in the room.
My boy Dan. My man been working hard.
Hey, shout out Dan. What's up,
my man's been working hard.
Yeah.
My man's been working hard.
We both looked at him at the same time, like, yo, he's falling asleep. You okay, bro? You can sleep, Holmes. It's all good.
It's all good, Brody. It's all good.
Don't get.
It's all good.
Oh,
but yeah, no,
shit.
definitely. That's my top 3 for right now.
I love that. That's great.
Who's your top 3?
Shit. Top 3. Man. I love hip hop artists, so it's kinda hard. I feel like it changes a lot, but top 3. Shit. That's a good question. I'm gonna go with, fuck, bro, you stumped me. You stumped me. Dude, look, cause like, I honestly haven't had like a favorite to where I've listened to them my whole life, like hip hop artist wise. But shit, I listened like growing up. I freaking loved Eminem. You know what I'm saying? Like that fool was. Eminem that fool was in his peak for a minute. I love Snoop Dogg. Mm-hmm. That fool like has had the West Coast on the lock for my whole life. So it's like that fool's got fucking bangers. You feel me? Like he's a you guys already know what's up with Snoop. So I would say that's top. There's two of them. What's my third, man? What's my third? Man, I loved Biggie growing up. Biggie was fucking fire, bro. Like, come on, dog.
That's
like,
one of my top. He in my top 10, and it's really because of like what you're saying, like the way he would flow, bro.
My God,
it was
just infectious, fool. Like you could still bump his music
effortlessly
today.
Too. It was just like the way he would just make shit rhyme, the way he stopped in his rhyme. The most dangerous it gets. You know, I'm like, bro, the way Biggie used to just have his pockets for every different type of rhyme style he had, it was so smooth. Like it didn't matter the kind of beat or whatever. He found that pocket and he made it sound dope as fuck. That's what I love about Big. And then when it was time to rap.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like his bars would make you kind of like want to rap, low key. Like I wasn't even, you know what I'm saying, like knowing like about any of that. But like once I started listening to Biggie, it was like I remember even trying to freestyle on my own. You know what I'm saying? Like at that
freestyling
time, like,
is a natural thing.
Middle school shit, like just because it's just infectious when you, like I said, when you listen to the pockets and like how they really got down. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, especially man, growing up without like the crazy tech that we have now, bro. Like, cause like the tech was so much slower as far as like how we're consuming it and everything. So it's like our attention spans were different. It's like a whole like.
Yeah, we were outside. We were outside as kids.
Bro.
We were
outside.
Christmas, you had scooters and bikes everywhere, skateboards. Like everybody was outside, like doing shit and doing stuff with their friends and their neighbors. Like it was a different vibe. Like somebody get a freaking basketball court. Everybody's over there playing basketball now. Like these kids now, they get tablets.
You go and knock on people's doors
and ask if they're home. They come outside.
Bro. Like, what have we turned into? Like, we're on our phones now. Like, yo, I'm here. You feel me? I'm texting you. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm not mad at that. That's the way it is. But then it's crazy, like how it's changed.
Because it's disconnected us like from human interaction as much as we like. I'm pretty sure everybody in this room has been somewhere like out where everybody is on their phone at like a dinner table or something. You just go and you look around and everybody's like, I've been on a train, I've been on the bus, and I've just looked around because I like to people watch anyway, and I've just watched people just be everyone, and I'm like,
it's crazy to me. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
And it's crazy too, like, man, it's even gotten our grandparents, bro. Like, our grandparents were the ones that were like, get off your phone. And now the grandparents are the ones that are like zoomed in, like, hello. Like, we gotta be, aware of that, man. Like, we gotta learn how to detach from it. Like what I was saying, but it's so much easier said than done.
Yeah, detachment is a hard thing because everybody's attached to different things, relationships, habits.
For sure.
Addictions. And there's a lot of discipline and work that comes into detachment. Like, detachment is an ongoing thing. Like, you have to wake up and remember every day you're going to have to fight for this. It's not going to be something you could just try to distract yourself from. Like, you're going to have to fight it because you're already naturally gravitating towards it, So the art of detachment is to be able to have the discipline to not hold on to something for sentimental value. And I think a lot of people we attach feelings to a lot of things, like, And I think that's the problem with detachment. It's just think about it. Like certain people don't like, oh, I don't want to give away this old ass computer because this was my first one. Like that shit is old, wrinkly, dang. Like that shit don't work. It don't cut on. It's time to let it go. You know?
For sure.
Our girl like, oh, my blanket from a kid, like the one with holes in it is barely like, unless you getting it revamped and like restitched and all that shit. No, just let it go. You know?
Yeah, man, letting go. Fuck, like
that's something that I've been working on too. So it's like having this conversation with you, still having conversation with self, because when you speak to people,
you're talking internally still.
It's a mirror. They're a mirror to you. So it's
like, bro, like, for example, you just bring that up. I was thinking in my head, like, literally, I just let it go. How I was like, Eminem. I don't even listen to Eminem right now, dog. So, like, for him to be in my top 3, he's not in my top 3. I only had the top 2 right there. But, like, that dialogue, you feel me? Like, it goes on all the time. Like, detaching is, like, bro, it's so fucking hard. Like, I'm saying, oh, yeah, it's easier said than done. Like, nah, it's fucking hard, dog. Like, it actually is. Like, you have to work for it. Like,
facts.
It's weird. Like, you almost have to, nowadays, like, work to, like, just be clear. Work to, like, you know what I'm saying? Have peace of mind.
Absolutely.
Like, especially as you get older, because, like, when you're a kid, I feel like peace of mind is, like, base level. You know what I'm saying? Because your parents work to make your life that way, right?
Exactly.
And obviously everyone has like different experiences, like not everyone gets to just be in their innocence, you know what I'm saying, and their peace, their whole, you know, teenage years and all that. Like some kids are like damn near adults because of the shit that they go through.
The trauma that they go
through.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I feel like I was living my 20s in high school, you know, drinking, going out, doing dumb shit, getting into shit you had no business getting into.
Yeah.
And then, like, as I went through my 20s, I just started doing a lot of, like, I guess, square bear shit that people would say. Like, you know, I just go hiking, and I like to be at home with family and just minding my business that way.
That's tight.
And that's kind of just...
You're reconnecting, dog. Like, come on, like, a lot of that is like, you know, bringing us away. Like when we go out and we have that whole nightlife vibe and shit, like, it's bringing us away from our
true selves.
Yeah, cause like, you know, I'm not against anyone who's drinking or anything, but like drinking can mess us up. You feel me? Like I drink myself and I'm wary of it. I'm like, all right, I need to, you know, cap it when I need to cap it, cause it impacts us, just like smoking weed, just like anything, just like the news that we watch, just like the movies that we watch, everything, you know? So it's important to be aware of what we're consuming, because then it's going to impact us on our mental health, our clarity, like the things that we can do in this life, you feel me? Like, it's crazy how all that shit's connected. Yeah. But we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back.
I remember being part, like, Dan probably smoked way more than I have, but I used to smoke a lot too, you know, so it's like, I remember being there, bro, like every day, everything I do. Yeah. Yep, all right, went and did this. It's been about a couple hours, yep. What's up, bro? Oh, you want to link up? Yep, let's pull up, bro. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got something on me, yep. Boom, smoked again. Oh, yeah, I got something too, bro. All right, fuck it, let's smoke again. Boom. All right, go to the gym. Oh, that was such a good workout. I can't wait to shower. Time to smoke. Boom. Oh, shit, yeah, I'm in there cooking.
Because it feels that good, huh?
Right, food is done. Food smells great. Should be eating it right now. Nah, I'm going to go smoke first. You know? Then after I eat...
Smoke.
Yeah, it's time to smoke before bed. And then you go to bed. And then you wake up in the middle of the night. I can't sleep. You know what that means. Time to smoke. Boom.
No, my ass would be out, dog. I'm out at night. I don't wake up. I'm out. Like, cause I mean I smoke weed, you know. So once I go down for the night, I'm done.
I feel that.
I'm out.
I feel that.
Once I'm at the end of my journey, you know what I'm saying? Talk to me about Long Journey, bro. Where'd you come up with the name?
I was just trying to find an acronym for LJAY at first because that was my first rap name, and it was Long Journey Ahead of You.
Okay.
But I was with my homie Hans at the time. We was just riding around. I was in a transitional phase of like my music, trying to figure out what I wanted to do next. And he was like, "Bro, you're Long Journey," and I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah, that should be your name." I'm just like, "Yeah, I should shorten that shit up.
Yeah.
Just call myself Long Journey." I like that, and I'm like, it's very symbolic because you know life is a long journey, and I feel like for me that's kind of what carried the whole message behind it. It was just like, okay, yeah, like it's hard saying I'm Long Journey and then dealing with all the bullshit of the journey.
Yeah,
that
for
seems
sure.
like it's forever, but it's gonna be worth it. You know, I've learned over the years because I'm an Aries and we can be impatient, but the long game is the best game to play because that's when things actually last.
Yeah.
You know, when you get something quick, you'll lose it just as quick. And
off top.
Yeah, and so I feel like Long Journey keeps me like hearing myself like, oh yeah, I'm Long Journey. Like that keeps me humble because it's like
yeah, it's in the name.
Yeah, it's like
in the name. The name is humble.
Job is not done. Like the journey will continue. You know, it's a long journey, so it's going to continue. Even when you feel like you're accomplished, even when you feel like you're doing something, like there's always going to be something else to pursue. Yeah, and it's not even like on some like I can never be satisfied. It's just like there's other things to pursue in life. Yeah. You could be satisfied with this area, but now this area needs more attention.
Yeah.
You know, it could be physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, whatever you want to like label it. But I think that's the main thing. And I think it's also about the growth that you have through the journey. I think that's why I really like the Long Journey because it's like I remember where I was 2 years ago and now where I am now. It's like that's crazy, you know.
That's tight, yeah.
Just think about like mental spaces and shit, emotional spaces where I was.
No,
like,
I feel that.
If the shit I was going through now 2 years ago, I would have reacted a whole lot different. You know, like a complete different space in my mind and everything. So
the journey's been like doing its thing, right?
Exactly, like pretty much.
I love that name, bro, because it's so relative to all of us, you know what I'm saying? Relative to every person, because everyone's on their own journeys, you know what I'm saying? So
exactly,
and
yeah, I get that, and
I
think that's the best way to describe it too. It's like we're all on our journey, and I think that's why I like my name too because it's a universal thing. It's like. Granted, everybody is on their journey, and you got to remember that it's going to take time to get to where you want to get to. It's going to take time to get to your destination. So enjoy this journey. You know.
Hell yeah, that's tight. Talk to me about like top 3 songs you've made, like your favorites.
Damn.
See, I got you. Stumped you. Like you stumped me earlier, bruh. I was so like, damn, I ain't ready for this one. I'm the type that likes preparing. Like I even thought of questions, you know, before you pulled up. So like, yeah, I was all surprised. So I feel that though. Like I felt like if I went on a podcast, I'd be like, damn, hold on, let me think. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone's asking me questions, like.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, that is a really...
That's gotta be hard though, right? Because, I mean, like, when you put out music to the world, like, you love it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, you probably love a majority of your music. So.
It's like it's some songs that you always make as an artist that you're like, it's cool.
Yeah.
You know?
But those ones that are like...
But the ones like, okay, Gotham is one of my favorite songs I ever did.
That's tight. Who was when did that song drop? Who was on it?
Gotham dropped
Just you?
2015, bro.
Hell yeah.
2015. Yeah, Gotham dropped in 2015, like October.
How did you drop it? Like,
dropped it on SoundCloud at first, and it was doing numbers.
Numbers.
Also, like, I would say, I was just in a different space then. You know, I was in the streets a little bit, just doing my own thing, and life was just different for me. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the trap era. Everybody is not trapping yet. This is like when trapping is still like, damn, you trapping, like, it's dangerous. You know.
Yeah.
It's not glorified.
That's
like
crazy
that.
how it's like mainstream now.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. That's why I don't believe these dudes. Because I've lived it on the smallest scale.
Yeah.
But I've seen others do it on a larger scale. And so that's why I'm like, I know the stress and just, there's no way y'all just be out here talking about, oh, I went through all this and you don't feel it.
Yeah.
Unless you're numb to it. That's another difference. Then that's a different
That's
story.
a whole different
It's
story.
a whole different topic,
for sure,
right?
For sure.
Different wormhole to go into.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these dudes just be saying it because it sounds nice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't respect a lot of this bullshit that be going around. Because it's like, I know real trappers, man. I know people that are really in the streets that were really moving work.
And they ain't talking about none of it.
They don't want no parts. They barely want to talk to you on the phone, bro.
Yeah, for sure. No, facts. Talk to me. Two other ones.
Okay.
Two other talk to.
I'm
gonna look up Gotham then. I'm gonna look up Gotham.
It's on all streaming platforms. It's it's under the project Illuminated Darkness. If you look up Lone Journey, Illuminated Darkness.
Bet. I'm gonna look it up, my boy.
Hell
yeah.
Shit, what's the name? You could say that, let's just go to a new song that I really like off of the Wolf album. I really like the intro, which is Michael's Phone. That's a sample from Michael Franks, one of my favorite artists.
Hell yeah.
And I think...
what made that song like one of your favorites?
That's so when I was a kid, my dad used to play When Sly Calls by Michael Franks. And this is just him talking about, you know, like, everybody has that one person that calls their phone and they're always asking for some, or they're always telling them some bullshit. You know, it's just like too much. So it's like when this person is calling him, he's like explaining this story, like, oh, when Sly calls is this and that, and then the hook is like, don't touch that phone, because Sly is calling. So it's like, don't touch that phone, because you know what you're getting yourself into when you answer that phone. You know? So it's like...
So you kind of like remade it?
I remade it.
Did your own thing?
Yeah, I did my own thing, and it was just like, you know, I kind of just had fun with it, because it was like a song that I used to sing with my sisters and my parents as kids. Like, we loved that song, like, you know.
That's so tight, fool.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm gonna look up that song too.
Yeah.
I love hearing the story behind it, fool, because like now I could listen to the song and like think of you and the, you know, the history behind it, bro.
Absolutely.
Like that's so, like, that's meaningful, fool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get that 100%, and it is meaningful. It's real. It's authentic. Just like Gotham, is that was just where my mindset was at that time.
That's where you were at that time.
That's where I was, and let's see the third one. Let me see. It would have to be, because I'm trying to go with songs that I dropped already. I have unreleased songs. It would have to be...
Yeah, do that. That's perfect. That's perfect.
It would have to be Lost. Lost is one of my favorite songs, too.
I
know it's one of Dan's favorite songs that I did, but that's off of just a double single that I had, and
that's right.
That was just really a pure, like, moment in my life of, like, vulnerability. You know, I was just going through transitions of my life, and I was learning a lot about myself that I think at that time I was just going through so much trauma that I was escaping from. Not even escaping. Well, no, I was escaping from. I was trying to escape from it. But then I was met with just resistance of, like, you can't escape from this. You have to face this and fix this because it's only going to make things worse for you. So that's when I really started understanding the importance of life and, like, being like, you know what? This is why I need to choose peace and love over fear and anger and all that shit. You know? And I think that was also just a time where I was very vulnerable about feeling alone, feeling lost. Like, I felt lost. Like, I didn't know who the fuck I was.
Yeah.
And you kind of hear that in the songs. And it's just like, when you hear the song, it's just like, damn, like, a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah. A lot of us feel lost, bro. A lot of us do. Because we like, our families and shit go through a lot to get through here, to get to here. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's, you know, pre where we're at now or like what's going on now. Like what's going on now and with what went on in history, like it's all very like harsh. You feel me? Like it's not easy. So when people get going here, you know, surviving, you can get lost surviving here for sure, dog. Like,
yeah, for real.
You can get lost in the sauce, go down, you know, rabbit holes, and damn near forget who you are, you know. But it's also like we do forget who we are because generations that go on, history, like I said, like I keep on saying history in this episode, but it gets lost, bruh. It gets lost in the generations because we go through a lot of things. You know, not everyone sits down and writes the history in books. You know what I'm saying? For family-wise, a lot of our history is oral, is verbal, it's word of mouth.
And it's horrible that,
you know what I'm saying?
It's like that too.
And it's, I would say, like, it's with the whole, like, written thing, or the written versus the oral thing. Our people, bruh, it's been oral since the beginning.
For the beginning, yeah.
So, like, it's just about, like, revitalizing that shit, because it has gotten lost in the sauce, you know what I'm saying? And, like, the parents of our generation don't know to ask these certain questions of who we are, so you start feeling lost, you start feeling depressed, because you honestly don't know who you are. We don't know what people we come from, what tribe we come from, what land we come from. All these little details schools never tell you. And they want that. They want that. Because then you feed in to the whole system, you start working, and you put your head down. And vamonos. Keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how our stories get lost. Like, and it's sad, but it's the reality. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to, you know, when you have kids, to break it down. This is where we're from. Don't let anyone tell you anything else, you know what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
But man, even, you know, how it does get lost in the sauce, I still love, you know, all my family that it got lost through and everything. Like, it's not even to throw shade or nothing, you know, like, as far as like, oh, you don't know our history? Like, you don't know where we're from? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, because the history is violent, you know what I'm saying? People were killed for practicing sacred religions, my boy. Yeah. Like, literally killed. Yeah. Like, for what? Like,
animals were killed, man. Animals, like the California bears, none of them exist anymore.
For just because California was set up and people were living here. Like,
exactly.
Come on, like,
California used to be, I was just telling a friend, they used to be considered an island.
I know, yeah.
And people...
This water was running through all the riverbeds.
Everything. And I feel like people don't realize that there's over 1,500 dams in California.
Yeah, those are all rivers, my boy. No, for sure. That's how they traveled north and south.
And traded and hunted. And I feel like that's what people don't understand about, like, the real Indians of the land. they were from my color, darker than me, to your color and lighter than you, like from north to south. And I think that's what made people understand, like, when you're talking about history is fucked up, it's like, yeah, because you have to make everybody convinced they all came here from somewhere else, especially like the majority of the people, which are Hispanics and then black people, right?
Yeah.
But you're not going to tell me that black people from Africa came over here and then knew how to grow corn and everything that's grown here. And cotton, things that are not grown in Africa, they come here and they know how to grow it. Like, no. This land was cheated and stolen from Alaska down to the bottom.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're all given these fucking poisonous, like, poxes and diseases that they brought over. And they broke a lot of treaties with a lot of tribes.
For sure.
And that's like when you were saying, like, we don't know what tribe and all that, like, that's so true. Because most people here, family is from here, you know? Like, the people that have came from other countries, they know. Most of these people know exactly where they came from, who came. Everybody else is like, I don't know. It's because what you're saying, they fucked up everything with the paperwork, like the schools, like our courthouses, our libraries, all these places that hold a lot of information for like documentation of where people were owning land and like deeds to other things. They have all that information.
They got all the records, for sure.
Because they have to, that's how they control it. And they make us fight with each other because that's the distraction. Because if we all realize, like, what we're talking about, like, this is our land, the government doesn't run this land.
Yeah, for sure.
They only run it under these false pretenses. Yeah. And because the people of the land...
Gang lords, Hawmie.
What? Like, the thing is, they flooded all the river. The whole entire America had rivers flowing through it entirely. That's why I believe they was calling it partially Turtle Islands, because like turtles' shells have lines and things that split them, right?
Yeah, for sure.
On the top. And if you think about all the water that used to pass through America, it probably would look like a turtle shell, like, because there's just so many lines and things that just connect through rivers. And that's how the Indians traded from north to south and then go other places. Like, that's how they found America, is because they've been trading here. And this is just as rich in nutrients and like resources as Africa, like in many ways. Like, we have gold here, you can find platinum, you can find oil, like resources that really help.
There was peaceful relations dating way further than like that full freaking Columbus. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dog. We already know that. I mean, but the thing is, it's not common knowledge, so it's good that we're talking about it, because then people can go do their research, you know what I'm saying? Go ask those questions about your own family. Where did I come from? What am I doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like,
facts.
And you'll get to some crazy answers. Like, honestly, you'll get kind of excited and you'll get pissed off. A little bit of both.
My great grandmother got sent to a psych ward because she refused to give up her Indian identity. Because she was a Choctaw, and she was not going to let that go.
Dog, they did that to us. Boarding schools, the whole nine, bro. It was hard,
you had to give up all of that. Like, to get put on a U.S. census, you gave up your Indian, like, heritage.
Yeah, you had to change your name, all of it.
You had to do everything.
Yeah.
And then, like, that bullshit-ass dolls rolls that the $5 Indians, that shit was crazy, bro. White people just putting $5 down and saying, hey. That's why when you go to the reservations today, like the 5 civilized, like, they're the ones running it. And it's like, who in your family is connected to this? Because I'm just curious. How, like, we know that they weren't the first people here, but yet they're in the civilized tribes. Which also has to let people know that there were other tribes helping the white people catch other tribes and
for sure
destroying other tribes. That's why they called them the 5 civilized tribes, because they were the ones helping them out. So they cut a deal with them to get rid of all the other smaller tribes in all the lands. And we could just talk about California, Tongva people, the Esalen people, the Chumash people. Like, y'all got rid of
the
all
Quiche.
the Quiche, bro.
All of them. Shout out all of my natives. Shout out all the Cali natives.
Man.
All of them. To the first peoples. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the land.
for real.
Respect.
For real.
We're actually residing on Tongva land, so
exactly.
Shout out to my Tongva
shout out
people.
to the Tongvas.
You know what I'm saying?
Anything with a GA and anything like that, you're like Rancho Cucamonga, that's all Tongva.
Yeah,
that's Tongva land. Like all those places are just they have a deep history.
And we're also in Lakewood, California, so it's like even down to Long Beach. The Tongva people were down there.
There's definitely down
there's a sacred site in Long Beach that is named the Pavungna site, and it's still to this day people come and take care of the land, and it's like how that connection to the sacred sites. It's one of one. You know what I'm saying? It's literally it's their church. Talk to me about one of your. This is like going back to the music thing. One of your favorite songs, or not favorite songs. One of your favorite performances that you've been in, that you've done.
Man, one of my favorites. So I've done the Observatory a couple times. Those were definitely like dope shows.
That's tight.
Hundreds of people,
That's tight.
That was fire. But I performed at a house party for the homies, grown ass pizza party. Like there was a thing in Long Beach. Shout out my boy Dez Youssef, my guy. Him and my boy Mook used to throw these parties, right? And it was just like little rap show parties. And like he would just order a bunch of pizza. It was a grown ass pizza party. You just ordering a bunch of pizzas, motherfuckers in there rapping and shit.
That's
tight. So I opened up with Gotham, and like some other shit.
Oh, that's tight.
And that shit was just like the homies are in there, like nobody really knows who I am, and I'm just spitting this fire shit, and they are just like, whoo.
You could see it.
You could feel it. You could see it. It's loud in there. That shit bumping in there. And the police come after my set and shut it down after.
Yeah, that's tight.
Like, you feel me?
Shut that bitch down.
Shut that shit down. That shit was... You feel me?
Oh, that must have been a feeling, bro.
That was the feeling. Like,
oh my God.
I'm like, yo, this really happened. Like, that's so crazy, tight. Bro. It was crazy.
That's so tight.
And that, like, that feeling right there was way better than, like, I'm just going to be like, I'm grateful for the observatories because those were great shows, but that one was just like...
That's second to none, bro.
Yeah,
like, come on.
Like, everybody crammed in there. It's hot in there. Like, the homies just in there, like, they vibing. They just... Motherfuckers rapping the verses. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
That's so
tight. And then the cops shut it down right after my set. I'm like,
yeah, dude, that's so tight, bro. That's a story right there.
No, for real, because
that's the type of story you tell your kids, bro.
Absolutely, because it's like I don't think another grown ass pizza party was shut down the way that one got shut down, especially how early it was. Like
it was
the first performer, and boom, like I shut that shit down literally, and that was like cool as fuck. You feel me? It was probably like the best feeling in the world, bro. It really was, bro. And
you catch a little buzz after that. You're like, damn, I need to perform again, huh?
For sure. That's for crazy. Sure. And I was grateful for that. Like Des took a chance on me, so that's why I appreciated him, for going first and all that. And it was like, yeah, we fuck with him. And then, I do want to talk about like my first observatory show because that one was also dope. Like, I was really nervous. So I was like, I did it sober because I wanted to know if I had it in me for real. Like,
yeah.
So when I was up there performing, I was just up there going in, and like, I had people like, I brought out like at least 30 people that came and showed love. And
nice.
They was rapping the words and shit. People was looking around, everybody vibing, bro. It was like fire, bro,
That's tight.
And I did Gotham then. It was just fire. It was a whole thing. And I feel like that moment was also a moment I was just like, yeah, music is in my blood. Like, this is me, you know?
Yeah.
Because I can't even tell you everything that was going on around me on that stage, because when I was up there, I blacked out. Like, that's what happened when I perform. When you're like, oh, it's your best. I'm like, God damn, it's hard, because
that's crazy.
When I'm up there performing, I just get in the zone. Like, I don't even know who is around me. I could be looking at you in the eyes. I don't know who you are at that moment.
Yeah.
You just a person.
That's
it could
crazy.
be Dan right there. I'll be looking Dan out. Yeah, bro, rapping the verse. I don't know who Dan is right now.
That's crazy.
I'm in my own world. Like, you know, it's like when I get up there, it's like I'm rapping in a room by myself.
That's crazy.
When I started,
and you can be in a room full of people.
And I can be in a room full of people.
That's crazy. That's wild, bro. Like, that makes sense, though. Like, why people talk about the stage and, like, how it's just something. Like, it just does something new. So, that makes sense, man. That's wild. We're going to go a quick break. Be right back. Hawmie Podcast. Talk to me about some of your projects, man. I know you, like in 2018, you dropped the Light EP. How was that for you?
That was my favorite little. That's my favorite EP project I ever dropped. Was like, it was a lot of people favorite.
How come?
It's because it was literally light. It was just a lot of like cool, positive, good feeling like sounds and samples on there, you know. It was like some summer vibey type shit that you could wake up and just play, put on, and just, you know, have a good day, enjoy your day. And you could play that shit throughout the day, you know. It was really like that kind of vibe. And
that's tight.
Yeah, I have fun making that. Shout out to my boy Slater. I was gonna call him Cali, but he just goes by CA Slater. But that was a dope project, you know. I'm really glad that I gave the world that, man. Because I did videos for that. That shit was dope. You know, Cypress Hill. Shout out to Cypress Hill. I just loved that project, man. It was good top to bottom to me. I could still play that shit and be happy with it, you know.
That's tight.
Yeah.
That's tight. Talk to me about the Alpha EP.
Alpha was still like one of those things, like I was still trying to talk my shit in like a rap way, like, you know. And it was just, that was at a time when I felt like a lot of the people around me was being some like fake motherfuckers, like showing fake love and like low-key be jealous and shit. So I had to just call them out. That's why Relentless is the first song on there, because it's just like, I'm ready for y'all. Like, if y'all really don't fuck with me, let it be known. Like, if you think you better than me, let it be known. Like, tell me. I'm waiting. You know? That's just how I was. And it was just like, at that time, I just felt like I was ready for whoever wanted it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it was just like a hungry moment, because I felt like people was like trying to play with my talents and like my capability to do things. So I was just like letting people know, like, I'm a fucking wolf, bro. I'm the alpha. I am a fucking alpha wolf. Like, y'all not about the little bro me or none of that shit.
That's tight.
You know,
yeah.
That's kind of what I was on about that.
That's tight. That big energy, like, yeah, I'm rapping my shit right now. Like,
exactly.
Who want it? You know what I'm saying? That's tight. That's tight. Talk to me about Illuminated Darkness.
Yeah, that project came out, it originally came out in 2016.
No shit. So you redropped it like later
on? Yeah, just
too?
put it on the streams.
Oh, okay.
But 2016, yeah, that dropped, and that was a dope. That's crazy, project.
Huh? That's so. What? How come you like put it back on later?
I dropped that on SoundCloud originally and on Bandcamp.
Okay.
And then I was like, I'm like, got into the streaming game, and I was like, yeah, I gotta put this out on the streams for the people. Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
People be looking for Gotham all the time, you know, and it's like, well, here you go. And
so it's on the Illuminated Darkness.
Yes, yeah. Gotham was on Illuminated Darkness. That's what kind of started Illuminated Darkness. Was me doing Gotham.
That's tight.
Yeah. Gotham was made at my house. The beat, me and my homie was just chilling. We was making music every day. He came to my house. We just there vibing. He just put on this crazy ass beat. And I'm like sitting there. I'm like, yeah, bro, this is it. I'm about to rap to this one. And the rest is history. Like, my homie hasn't even really made any beats since then.
That's
Shout
crazy.
out my boy Don.
That's funny.
He really has not made any beats since then. Like, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
Like, he made a few beats after that, but he really, like, that's a pivotal moment for him too, because it's like Gotham became a music video. It's like, that's the song most people know by me when they hear Long Journey. So it's like,
that's tight.
Yeah, it's tight. It's tight. It was a moment in time, like a real moment.
Yeah, that's how, like, genuine energy that just gets put into the song. That,
like, I rap Gotham in front of, like, Atlantic record executives and shit. Like,
that's tight.
You feel me? And they liked it a lot at that time. And one of the A&Rs actually referred me to another A&R. Like, that's how much they had liked it. Of course, that shit fell through, but it was just the fact that they took time out of their day to refer him to my shit.
Yeah, that's tight.
You know, a whole nother day, and him to reach out, I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like, I'm real. Like, that was really, like, a classic ass song. Like, that's how you know people can really feel it, because, you know, it was just that gravitating. And so that's why I really think Gotham was one of those songs. That's why it's one of my favorite, because it was just very captivating at that time. And, like, a lot of people just, when they heard it, they were like, yeah, this the one. I like this one a lot.
So go bump that. Go bump that one time.
For sure.
Streaming services.
For sure. Go bump Gotham, and then
go listen to his recent music.
Y'all will
too,
understand,
you know
why I like Gotham. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's a dope song. And if you like, Gotham, I'm a Batman fan, so it gives you Batman vibes. So just think of it like that. Like, think about you're in Gotham and you're playing Long Journey on a Gotham night that you hope Batman is gonna come help with the bullshit going on in the city. But that's kind of the vibe. But
that's real. That's tight for, like, it's like each project that you have, it's like, man, I was at this point in my life. Like, it's crazy because, like, each one and each period is a different thing. You know what I'm saying?
It sure was.
Like, Wolf, how was that for you during that time?
Wolf is another one of those, like, moments in time, because it took me like 3 years to make that project. I switched it up. It was a whole different project that I played from Dan, like, the first time. So it was like, I was in Oregon. I was, like, doing this internship. I was, like, doing a lot of fucking traveling. I was going to Hawaii and shit. You know, I was just moving around, driving through the cities and shit, like, going state to state and just experiencing life. And I was really, like, in this space of just feeling good creatively. And I was like, yeah, you know, but also motivated to be better, you know, like, wanting more. Because I've had a lot of times in my life where I have procrastinated, and I should have went and did